Well, hello, it's Barbara McNeely with another Tipsy Tuesday for you. Another in my series on stop shopping at the grocery store. And this week, I have the reason you should stop shopping at the grocery store for your produce especially is because we really are made to be eating with the seasons. And if we think about it, for most of mankind's existence, that's how we ate because that was all we had. We don't know it today, but prior to the industrial age, like before 1850, if the food was not within a day's travel from people, then they didn't eat it because they had no way to get it. And then when the industrial age came along, we had planes and trains and trucks, not in that order, but I mean, soon we could get food from all over the world, and it just seemed marvelous. But that's not how we were designed. And if we think about an area of the country or anywhere in the world, a particular community, say, it's its own little complete ecosystem with the plants that live in that area, and they are adapted and they thrive in the environment based on the amount of sunlight, the amount of rainfall, the type of soil, the altitude, all of that fits together. And in fact, there's a symbiotic relationship between the plants and the animals and all the little critters in the ground. And the animals would eat what is local. And when, for most of humanity's time, we ate local until the industrial age. And now we can eat foods from all around the world. And in a lot of ways, it's kind of good and it's kind of fun because you might not have ever known a pineapple or a banana or a coconut or, I don't know, there's all kinds of weird jackfruit and things like, I don't even know them all now, but we wouldn't have known those without that ability to travel and to transport food from all around the world to us. But why would it not be good? Well, like I said, the animals in an ecosystem were designed to eat what was local, and we were designed to eat locally too. And it turns out it has a lot to do with a tiny little gland called the pineal gland. Some people say pineal gland. I don't know which is correct. I think it might be pineal because I think it got its name because it's shaped like a tiny little pine cone, but it's way back in the back of your brain. And it controls a lot of things. It controls your circadian rhythm. And what that is about, we all think of it as what controls our sleep-wake cycles, and that's true, but it does a lot more. It controls your sleep cycle, but it also has a lot of endocrine functions. It produces hormones. It aids us in digestion, and so much more. The interesting thing I learned in researching this was that if your pineal gland is confused, which might happen if you're not eating what's in season where you are, your pineal gland could be a cause of insomnia. But also, once you disrupt that circadian rhythm, you can have a lot of chronic illnesses that show up. And so that's what happens like when it's the dead of winter and we have a diet that is full of a lot of bananas and coconut or pineapple and things like that are tropical fruits, which are not in season. And so, but it doesn't mean that we cannot ever eat a banana or a pineapple or whatever. It just means that occasionally we can do that if it's wintertime especially. And if the other side of the coin is like, say you're not going to eat a hearty beef stew full of root vegetables that are winter vegetables in the middle of summer, and it's the same thing. And so what it is that most of the time you want to eat within the season. So how do we do that? Well, last week I talked about buying fresh local produce, and it's the same answer, because what's growing locally is what's meant to be grown in that area for the most part, because that's what farmers aren't going to plant things that aren't going to grow well. They unless you're buying hothouse tomatoes and things like that, if you're buying stuff that's grown in the ground, it's going to be what's in season locally. So that's my tip for the week, is to try to eat more in line with the seasons. I do have a blog post coming up on Friday where I talk about this and I go into a bit more detail because it's important. And if you want to understand the nitty-gritty and get down into the technical details, the scientific parts of it, it's in there. So until next time, signing off. Thanks for watching.